Well, awesome, man. Well, good morning to you. What market are you in?
I'm in the Georgia market. Yeah, so we're basically Georgia and Middle Georgia. That's our main markets.
Okay, right on, right on. Here in California, so it's 7 a.m. here. Just waking.
Yeah, yeah, it's early.
A head start on the early grind.
Right.
Perks of the East Coast. Well, cool, man.
Yeah.
Give this time for being on the call with me, man. I really appreciate it, and just want to kind of connect and get to know you and kind of hear your story. Curious, what got you into real estate?
Well, I've always wanted to go into real estate. It's a funny story. I was just telling this to my business partner, but when I was in high school, I played football. I got a scholarship to a little small college up in Missouri, and so once I got the scholarship, I never applied to any other schools. And what happened was they changed their coaching staff, and my scholarship went to a partial scholarship. So it would be more to go out of state than to stay in state. But at the time, I didn't apply to any other college, so I was like, man, what's going to be next? So a lady told me about real estate, and she was an agent. So I went and sat with a local agent and a local broker, and he told me everything I needed to do. And he said that he would, he would hang my license in his office, and I could work up under him. So I told my dad about it and was so happy. My dad was like, "Nah, you're going to college." So he made me go to a college that was an hour away from us, and I kind of put my real estate ambitions to the side. And but I always was into it, man. I would, still look at stuff on online or see all the auctions that was going on at that time, because it was like around 2007, around that time. And that's when everything started to crash. So I was seeing all these houses going for really cheap. And I was like, man, I wish I had the money. But fast forward to maybe 2 years ago in 2016, I got into wholesaling. I just stumbled across it from a guy I know that he was selling houses. And I was like, man, how do you have the money to sell those houses, buy and flip the houses that quick? And he told me, well, I'm really just flipping the contract. And he basically just took my hand and showed me how to do everything. I'm very grateful for that guy. And we still do deals to this day. But he showed me everything about real estate. And that's when I just took off from there. I dedicated myself to learning more about this business, every aspect I could. And me doing that allowed me to leave my job within 2 years of learning wholesaling. So that's what journey got me here now.
Said, how long was it till after college with that gap until you kind of started getting into wholesaling when you met your mentor?
It was a while, man. I went to college in 2005 and graduated in 2010. I took my time, but I just got into the working force. Life changed. I got married, had kids, and all I was thinking about was just providing for them. So started doing my jobs, and it kind of, just working. It just kind of put some of your ambitions and dreams to the side, because you have to provide for your family. You have to have a paycheck, and I think it was maybe almost 6 years after college that I picked back up trying to do real estate.
Okay, right on. And
Yeah.
then what form of marketing were you using until you stumbled upon SMS marketing and Smarter Contact?
Oh, when I first started, everybody was on postcards, the little yellow postcards you send out. So that was my first way. That's how I got my first deal, was a postcard. It's very expensive, and my deals were far and apart because of that. And I guess I caught the tail end of the postcard era, because it started slowing down for me. And then that's when I went to cold calling. And I feel like I'm a naturally good speaker when I'm one-on-one with somebody.
Yeah.
But when I get on the phone, it's a different beast. So I had a little trouble with cold calling once I started. But I pushed myself to do it, and I wasn't as consistent as I need to be with it, working a full-time job and then trying to call on my lunch breaks. And when I get off of work, and then I had, two little babies I had to take care of at the time. So it was kind of hard to do the cold calls. Mm-hmm. But I kind of, when I started doing the cold calls, I was kind of in and out of it. And I was just trying to look for a better way. I actually hired a VA, and my first VA was terrible. I wasted a lot of money on it and didn't get the response and, the deals I needed. And, part of it was my fault, because I didn't know how to actually train him the right way. and I think I should have let him go faster than I did. But it taught me how to try to look for other marketing ventures, other ways to doing stuff. So before I started doing the SMS, I got into, sending emails out, and that didn't work well at all. But once I got into once I found out about text messaging, it kind of changed my whole business.
And then why did you choose Smarter Contact and got down into type of marketing channel?
Well, at the time I was looking for I was looking into a lot of messaging services and platforms, and a lot of them was expensive. And I did one of Tony the Closer's course, and he mentioned you guys in there, and he had like a thing, if you signed up with his link, you get a certain amount of credits and stuff. So I was like, and it was 7 days. So you get 7 days free with the trial. So I was like, well, maybe if I can do this in 7 days, I can get a deal in 7 days, and this to pay for my monthly subscription. So I actually got close to doing the deal within those 7 days. And me doing the SMS just proved to me that this works. So that's when I turned my whole business around and started focusing more money into SMS than anything else we did.
How long have you been doing SMS marketing?
I started in 2017.
2017.
So
okay.
3 years now.
Yeah. The results from that, like how many leads and maybe how many deals have you had so far?
I'm sorry, 2018. I'm sorry. But I've had, I can't remember how many deals, but the majority of our deals, I would say maybe 90% of our deals are from SMS. That's how we start our marketing. We start with SMS first, and then if we can get those people engaged, we try to get on the phone with them the quickest possible. When I first started, I noticed that the longer you text, sometimes people kind of fade out, So we have a short script where we ask them a few qualifying questions, and then we try to set a time to get on the phone with them to go ahead and lock that deal down. Now, my first deal I did with the SMS, it was straight text message. I didn't actually speak to the seller until we got to the closing table. So that was pretty cool to do it that way. But now, since we send out more volume, it's better to just get them to say, yes, we want to sell, and then pick a time for our acquisitions to give them a call.
Nice. So your kind of strategies, that's just kind of be like quick and sift through that text conversation and try to get them on the phone as quickly as possible. Nice.
Right, because we try to send out at least 500 text messages a day at the minimum. So we have a lot of leads coming in, so it's better to work as fast as we can to get through those yes and no's and the wrong numbers and everything. So that we find this system to work the best for us.
What's been the most interesting transaction that you've had in probably the last 2 to 3 years? Any obstacles that kind of overcome, any tricky ones you've had to deal with?
Yeah, so on some of our text messages, the templates we use, I use my wife's name because I found out it's kind of easier if they know it's coming from a woman for some reason. But so I use my wife's name on there, and the guy we contacted, I guess his wife is going through a divorce, and her name was the same name as my wife's name. So he thought it was something that she was doing. It was a crazy conversation. And at that time, I had my number tied to the text message. So if they called in, it comes straight to my phone. And I answered it live, and man, he was just like really upset and thinking that I'm with his wife and that we're doing all this crazy stuff to try to take his property and all that. But yeah, he tried to get the police involved. He tried to get his lawyers involved. But I just told him, hey, we're just trying to buy a house. I don't know your wife. This is my wife, and we kind of smoothed it out. And then like 2 months later, he called us back just to complain again. So we had to end up blocking that number. But yeah, that was the craziest one I could remember. Out of all the deals we've done, that's the craziest one.
Oh man, that's funny. It's like of all the people, somebody with his same name use it for text message marketing. That's a good story. Let's see here. What has been probably your biggest lesson, or it can be your top 3 lessons that you've kind of learned since you first started wholesaling, going all the way back to your first mentor?
It's just the main thing I've learned is being consistent. once I first started wholesaling and I made my first check, it proved to me that this works. And at the time, I guess just life, got in the way, and I wasn't as persistent as sending marketing every day. You need to be sending marketing every day, making offers every day to get deals in this business. It's all about numbers. So my biggest thing I would say is stay consistent. And the next thing I would say is find 2 ways to market to these sellers. We use a combination of cold calling and SMS, and I think that works the best. But you need to have at least 2 to 3 ways to hit these sellers.
Definitely. What is one skill set that you think every single brand new real estate wholesaler needs to hone in on to be successful in this?
I would say sales, because this is even though it's real estate, it's really marketing and sales. That was my background in college. So I was kind of a natural salesperson. All my jobs have been sales jobs. So one thing I would say, if you're not good in sales, try to take courses, try to find someone that's good in sales to help mentor you, or if you have the money, hire out, because that's the bulk of your business, is sales. Learn how to sell your service to these homeowners. But that's the key thing, is sales. A lot of people don't understand. Yeah, it's real estate, but at the same time, it's more sales on the wholesaling side.
Definitely. And what motivates you, man, to wake up every single day and to be consistent? Because one thing you said is you need to be consistent with marketing every single day. And, this is such a roller coaster industry. It is definitely a little bit tough to be there. So what motivates you to be consistent, hit your weekly goals, your quarterly goals, to make sure you're hitting your numbers so that you got deals closing and paychecks coming in?
It's everybody says your family. My family. I love my family, my kids. I have 3 kids, and my wife to take care of. But it's bigger than my family. I believe that God gives us as entrepreneurs, a pathway of leadership. And we can make all the money in the world. We can't spend all the money in the world, but we can give all the money. So I think that's my biggest thing, is that God put me here to be able to be a river to flow to others that need help, or pour back into my community. But that's my why. That's my reason I get up and go hard every day, is that I can be a giver. I can be a servant to others.
Dude, I love that answer. That's a good one. Yeah. So what are your, we're ending Q4. What are your 2021 goals for? It can be personal goals. It can be your business goals. What's some of the goals that you've kind of implemented for yourself this next year?
Well, 2021, we're going into more markets now. Like I said before, we're based out of Columbus, Georgia, which is like an hour and 20 minutes south of Atlanta. So we kind of stay out of the Atlanta market, but we're in the middle Georgia market and South Georgia. It's smaller markets, but it's less competition. And now we want to branch out a little bit more. We have we set up boots on the ground in Arkansas, Montgomery, Birmingham, and Memphis, Tennessee. So these are the few markets. I'm sorry, in Jacksonville, Florida. These are the few markets that we'll be going in next year. So right now we're working on building another team. We're going to bring on another VA, and try to just ramp up what we're doing, ramp up our marketing, more and more every day.
Nice. Awesome, dude. Scaling and branching out into other markets. I feel like that's kind of the thing that's forced a lot of us investors in 2020, is to really start looking out into other markets. It's weird. Like, some markets are still stagnant, but other markets are popping. I'm here in, Southern California, and just in California whole, it's kind of just been, very still, unless, except for the Bay Area, but just because of politics and everything going on, pandemic, it's like no one's foreclosing, real estate's not quite shaking, but yet then you go Nevada and Arizona and it's popping.
Right.
So I'll kind of leave you with this last question, man. So if you were to recommend Smarter Contact to a friend, what would you say?
If you want efficiency and the quickest way to reach a seller is through a text message, and we do it all the time. If somebody calls me, if I don't know the number, I'll wait till it goes to the voicemail. And if you don't leave me a voicemail or a text, and I feel like it's not important. But if somebody texts me, I'm always look at it. I may not respond right then, but I will always look at my text message. So I think that's the key thing now, because everybody has a mobile device in their hand now. So I would tell them this is the quickest way to get your first deal is through a text message, especially if you're kind of nervous about getting on the phone. By doing a text message, it warms that seller up. So when you call them, it's not like a cold call. So it's the quickest and most efficient way to get to your first deal.
Definitely. And how many offers are you sending out this week or next week?
This week we have 3 in right now. It's a slow week for us. We try to do 5 a day if we can, but we have 3 in right now. And we have some more in the pipeline that we're going to make offers on. But just, there's a lot of phone tag right now going back and forth with the sellers. But yeah, we're slacking this week, but we're gonna ramp it up pretty soon.
It's all good, man. Hey, that's still a pretty good number. Well, cool, man. I won't keep you much longer from your work. Thank you so much for taking your time and jumping on a call with me and telling us a little bit about yourself and your business, man. I really appreciate it.
All right, no problem, man. I appreciate you guys.
Cool. Yeah. Talk to you later, man.
All right. Yeah. Have a good one.
Yeah, man.